Hey everybody, Mike Chipperini here of Chipper's Island Adventures, and today I'm going to answer the question that has been asked of me repeatedly. Why did I go from a Class C to a Class B? Hey everybody, so I just want to do a quick video and answer the question because it's been asked of me a lot. Why would I go from a Class C to a Class B? So I want to answer that question, so let's get started. I owned an Integra Odyssey 24B, which is one of the smaller Class C's available that still provides a lot of comfort. And I have to say, I really enjoyed that rig. However, there were things about it that just wasn't a good fit for me. Okay, so some of the things that concerned me with the Class C were the auto levelers and the slide. That's the two big ones. And on mine, we also had a windshield on the over-the-bunk cab. So let's start with the auto levelers. The auto levelers on my Class C worked fine, but I did hear of a lot of people having issues with them. And every time I hit auto to put those levelers down, I was always a little white knuckled that they would work or not, because I did not want to put the slide out until those auto levelers were down and the rig was leveled. So the next step, of course, would be to put the slide out. And on the 24B, the slide is a whole driver's side wall. It accommodates the dining room along with a wardrobe and pantry and the bed. And that's an awfully big slide for just a Schwintek slide system. I always felt that slides should be on a heavier duty slide system other than the Schwintek. If you'll notice, a lot of rigs that have 2 or 3 slides on them, the smaller slide might have a Schwintek system, a track system, whereas the other slides will have a rack and pinion or something along those lines. So whenever I would put the slide out after getting the auto levelers down, I would be a little white knuckled that I could get it back in when I was ready to depart, and also that the levelers would retract. So I was always a little white knuckled about those things. And you know, quite frankly, I really didn't need all that space. So if the auto levelers or the slide failed, I would just sleep in the top bunk on the Class C. So I did have a backup, but that was just one of the things I dealt with. So I only had one little slide issue. I rectified it myself, and then I never had a problem with the auto levelers. Another thing that would concern me is that windshield that was on the over-the-bunk cab. When my rig was delivered to the dealership, that windshield was cracked. Now, they replaced it, and I never had a problem with it since. But I was always worried that one day I was going to come out and there's going to be a big crack on it. And quite frankly, you don't really need that windshield. It's a nice touch, but if the potential for it to be cracked outweighs the benefits, well, you know what? Get rid of it. So at any rate, those 3 things, and then there's a 4th. I never really liked the Norcold refrigerator that was on my other rig. It was propane / 110 voltage. So it would work if you were not plugged in, then you would go ahead and use propane to keep it cold. And if you were plugged in, you just use the power. I always left it on auto, so it would do whatever it wanted to do. So let's just get down to the nuts and bolts. I loved my Class C while I had it. I just didn't need all that space. And I would never have looked at a Class B until I owned that Class C for a couple years. And then I started looking hard at Class Bs. So I ended up with the Winnebago Travato. Now, why did I choose that, and what are the benefits that I find over the Class C? Well, one, I have solar. 2, I have a 12-volt refrigerator. Although smaller than the Class C, it works great for me. It's plenty of space for the food I'm going to put in there. I have a pair of twin beds. I have no slides to worry about. I have no auto levelers to worry about. Another thing I should point out is on the miles per gallon with the Class C, I was getting about 9.5 miles per gallon, whereas with this, with the Travato, I'm getting 16.9, 16.6, give or take. I find that a lot better. The lowest I've got during city driving is around 12, and I'm still happy with that, because that, if I was driving a Class C around the city, it would probably be more 7.5 or 8. So in a nutshell, I don't think I gave up a whole lot that I really miss by getting a Class B. So if you're looking at going from a Class C to a Class B, I highly recommend it. What I really recommend doing is going to some of the big RV shows, and if you have a Class C, you already know what those are like, and going to a Class B and trying them out. Lie down on the bunks and see how comfortable it is. Spin the chairs around. I will say that spinning my seats around in the front cockpit so that they become part of the living area is a whole lot easier in this Class B. Pretty much everything that is similar to the Class C is better or easier in the Class B. I will say this, that with the Class B, with the Class C, you could have 2 people in my 24B and it was still very comfortable. You could walk by each other in the kitchen and the dining room area. With the Class B, not so much. It's a 1-person traffic lane, and that's that. That's just the way it is. But it's still fine. I'm willing to sacrifice that because I travel alone a lot. I'm able to do that. A couple may have a different opinion, and that's all up to the beholder, and that's the best I could say. If you're looking at dropping from a Class C to a Class B, I recommend it. I find you might be happier. By the way, just coming home, when I bring my van home, the Class B, and I park it where it is right now, I have to do a couple little turns in my driveway to do this. And even with cars in the driveway, I'm able to do that no problem, quickly spin around and put it where I want. With the Class C, because that Class C was 26, nearly 27 feet long, it was a different project altogether. So that's a whole lot easier with the Class B. Anyway, in a nutshell, I love my Class B. I had a great time in my Class C, but I feel my downgrade suited me really, really well. And if you're thinking the same thing, I hope you find it suitable as well. So, if you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. All the best to all, and happy RVing.